Good evening, wrestling fans, or good day whenever you may be watching. Welcome to this week's edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I'm Matt Carter, being joined by Commissioner Rick Diesel and AIWF Halls of Famer Ryan and Reagan Danzig. Oh boy, it all went down last night at Extreme Content. I mean,
yes,
the show, it's dubious beginnings to where people were hospitalized and we never thought we'd be able to do it again. Here we are 20 some years later. It's still going strong. And I don't know why it surprises me, but every year I'm just like, wow.
Let me tell you something. The only thing that would have been hotter than Extreme Content is if there had been a fire breakout at a Clint Black concert.
Yeah. I saw some of that footage from that Clint Black concert.
It was good. It was good. He sounded good.
Yeah. Well, I was explaining to my wife about Clint Black that if you want a good country sound, and this is just my opinion for whatever that's worth, you need to have a fiddle, and you need to have somebody that can play a dobro. You need to have somebody that can play a pedal steel, because that's a true country sound. And Clint Black has a big band that has all that covered. And I've always liked his sound. I've always thought Clint Black sounded a lot like Merle Haggard. You know, a lot of people will look at me funny when I say that, but if you listen to them, like listen to a Merle song and listen to a Clint Black song, tell me they're almost the same guy.
Yeah, he actually talked about that last night, was Merle Haggard. He did a few Merle Haggard songs, and then he had done one with Merle Haggard, and they sang it, and then the guy he writes his songs with sang the Merle Haggard part. But yeah, he talked about that a lot, that he was a big influence. So, and I do feel guilty about missing Extreme Content.
Let me tell you what.
I was I was texting Brian all night.
What have
I done?
As the guys can attest, it worked me to death.
Yeah.
But there is a but. It's not all on you. Kevin Phoenix backed out on me at the last minute. I thought he was coming. And then he gave me some bullshit story about minor league baseball. I don't know, it may be true, but I just feel like, you know, that minor league baseball, you know, it's code for ring rat.
But isn't superstar Clint Black better than minor league baseball? I mean,
yes. That's why I'm not putting all the blame on you.
I wish you could see what my cup said.
All I could say is,
I could see it
maybe
clearly.
He was thinking about baseball.
And for the listeners, for the audio listeners, Reagan's cup that she's drinking from says in bright yellow and white type, 0 fucks given. That is so similar to what Tony Schiavone, he's got a t-shirt for sale that says 0 fucks left to give.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so Extreme Content was last night, ladies and gentlemen, and it was absolutely fantastic. I'll go ahead.
Matt?
Yes.
Why am I not seeing us on the Mid-Atlantic page?
I don't know. We're there.
Are we? Wait a minute. Let me refresh.
Yeah, we're there. I'm looking at
and
it right
Chris
now.
10
Okay, yeah, we're there.
Popped up. We've got 10 people watching. I'm watching.
Yep. So anyway,
are we frozen?
We've got news to report. We might, I don't know. We might.
No, we're not on mine. We're good. We're moving around on mine.
So let's go ahead and get to the news. We've got a lot of it.
Wait a minute. I want to address something.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. I sense
now,
a rant. I sense a rant.
I understand that we're gaining viewers. We had like a record number last week. All right. And I know, Matt, you was on the fence about this, but I don't ride a fence long. You know that. So we did something last week. We don't know what it was, but somebody got butt hurt and said something, and it took us a little bit to get it to where Facebook would let us post the show last week. So I just want to tell everybody that we say things just out of the blue. This thing goes off the rails, and if we offend somebody, you know, it's not like we're trying to just piss people off. You know what I'm saying? But if we offend you, don't ruin it for everybody else. Just go watch the freaking Paw Patrol podcast. All right. And let us do our thing, because a lot of people enjoy the crazy bull crap that we do here.
Yeah.
And just let us, if you don't like it, don't try to get us kicked off Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Just strap on your tampon a little tighter and go somewhere else. It's okay. But let us entertain the people who want to freaking watch us. With my old man shoulders. I'm sorry. I was debating on whether or not to wear the tank top because I got old man shoulders now.
Well, Monday, the AIWF gave me a disclaimer to read here, and it says, attention listeners and viewers, if you have sensitive rectum entrances, you should not watch this show. So that's the official word from the AIWF office. So if you don't like what you're seeing here, there's 1,000 channels on cable. There's YouTube. There's a million places to go on the internet. So just fuck on off, because we don't want you here. So that's just the long and the short of it. So exactly.
There's people that enjoy us. Let them. Don't try to ruin it for them. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to turn us off. We don't care. Because our goal is to have 2 replace you.
Yeah, exactly. But for all the new listeners that have been recently joining us here and on YouTube, thank you. I mean, I am so happy.
Yes.
We are almost to 900 subscribers right now. I mean, it should happen this week. And our goal is to get to 1,000.
And just tell people about us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tell people about the show. Tell them that we're on pretty much every Sunday night at 6:30. Tell them that they can watch replays. We've got all these podcasts. They can listen to us going down the road and let people look at them real weird when they've got this look on their face.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey, tell people about us. Let's spread the word. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? We might get big time someday.
Let's start off with a dick joke. Let's look at my big meaty stick here. As you can see, as a wrestling fan, this has made me very, very happy this week. These are the brand new Savage size Slim Jim with Randy Savage's picture right there on the
who gets them royalties?
His family, I guess. He's got children, I believe. But it's what's got me to thinking about something. It just makes me really happy that they're still honoring the Macho Man. If you knew anything about the guy when he was still with us, he was very involved in helping children and charities and stuff like that. And even though he was kind of an intense guy, to say the least, but he had mellowed out in his later years. And Slim Jims to this day say that he is the greatest spokesman they've ever had. And if you don't believe me, let me show you something. Hang on a second. I got to share this. I was going to go right to Extreme Content News, but I wanted to do a dick joke, so there we go. But all right, so this is Slim Jim's page right here, right? Advertising the Savage sticks, right? You can find them at your favorite gas station, right? 3 times bigger. They are huge. You can't eat one in one sitting. But look here, they've still got a page that you can go to with their YouTube page or whatever that's got Randy's old commercials on there.
Good for them.
Then they've got a ton of them here, So, but yeah, so that does my heart good. They're not ever going to forget about Randy. I saw this a couple of years ago. They had just a page dedicated to Randy Savage and links to all the commercials, but I wanted to show it on this show because it is a wrestling show and I thought you guys would find it interesting. So yeah, Randy Savage is still popular now, long after his time has passed on this earth. And I think that's just great, Well,
I'm also glad that his family, can benefit from everything that he done, with Slim Jim. I'm glad they're honoring him by helping his family. That is if they're getting royalties for it, then screw you, Slim Jim.
I'm sure they are. But it's funny how Randy came into that. If you remember in the early 90s, they used the Ultimate Warrior as a spokesman at first.
Yeah.
And they were on a commercial shoot. Bruce Pritchard has told this story on his podcast. The Ultimate Warrior would actually bite into the Slim Jim and then spit it out and then rinse his mouth out with water and act like he was disgusted. And they were just like, well, man, if you hate the shit so much, fuck you, he'll find somebody else. And Randy Savage was there and asked him if he was interested in that. That partnership lasted for the rest of his life. He was such a good spokesman for him. And sometimes even on the commercials now, the Slim Jim commercials now at the end, you'll hear that sound bite, step into it. Oh yeah. So
hey, speaking of Bruce Pritchard, have you made it to the Heavenly Bodies debut on Smoky Mountain yet?
I ain't past it. I just watched them and the Fantastics.
Reagan froze.
Oh, yep. We gotta get her a computer.
We're gonna get stronger Wi-Fi signal. But so let's not get it twisted.
Are we back?
Yeah, you're back. My thing was, did you notice it, or was it just me that it was almost like Roddy Piper was doing a voiceover for Bruce Pritchard when he started?
That's Dr. Tom. Pause. Pump the brakes.
Is he doing a Roddy Piper impression?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like he was channeling Roddy Piper for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, wait a minute. That's Dr. Tom that was in the Heavenly Bodies, not Bruce. Unless,
oh, is that what it was? Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, Dr. Tom. Tom Pritchard. I get the Pritchards, you know what I'm saying?
He is an old man shoulder.
I do have old man shoulders.
Oh, Lord. Old man shoulders. But Dr. Tom Pritchard, he was channeling Roddy Piper. I swear to God he was. Yeah, well, him and Bruce both do good impressions of Roddy Piper. I mean, Bruce's impression of Roddy Piper is so good it pissed off Piper when he was still alive. But there's one thing about Dr. Tom. When I remember first seeing Smoky Mountain back in the 90s, I was like, oh, Jim Cornette's got another team. I guess it's going to be like the Midnight and they're not going to talk. And then Dr. Tom, after Cornette finishes ranting, he starts talking and I'm like, whoa, instant wrestler crush at that point. Dr. Tom.
All right, guys, I'll be back.
Dr. Tom has been one of my favorite wrestlers.
I'm in with Buddy Landell, them, and Ronnie Garvin's getting ready to come in.
Yeah. You're in the part where it's just about starting. You're 93.
92. I'm in June of 92.
Oh, okay. It hadn't even started to get good yet.
No, because good Lord, Tim Horner, excellent work. I'm not taking anything away from his wrestling ability, but his mic skills are absolutely terrible. And the fact that he comes out to the Thunder Rolls makes no sense, because he comes out to the part where he says he hit her hard, the Thunder Rolls. And I'm like, it makes no sense. Buddy Landell comes out to I'm too sexy.
But I mean, you knew Buddy. That's Buddy. Do you remember who was that came out to the Thunder Rolls last night? Brian, it was somebody came out to that song. And I immediately thought of Reagan and Tim Horner, but it was somebody came out to the Thunder Rolls last night. And I just remember always thinking that was odd entrance music because it's a song about domestic violence. And so I'm just like,
it didn't fit his look at all. I mean, I don't want to say that you have to have a certain music for a certain, it's like he had this like kind of punk thing with a leather jacket and the cool haircut, and he's coming out to early 90s Garth Brooks. It was kind of odd. It's an odd song to use anyway, but especially for him. But that's what you want. That's what you want.
It's just always struck me funny. It's a song about domestic violence, and I just never thought it really fit into pro wrestling. Well, not
right.
Domestic violence, not really. I mean, it's about cheating. Cheating.
No, it's about domestic violence because he hits her, and then at the end she goes and gets her. In the extended cut, she goes to the bedroom.
They froze up again. We'll wait on them to get back. I would tell my people at work, my shoot job, restart your device. But frozen.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's his Chromebook.
You're back. I was going to say, have you cleared cache and cookies and tried restarting the device?
Away for a minute and restart some stuff, and we'll be back.
Okay. All right. Cool beans. All right. So they're going to jump off for a second and restart their device and clear cache and cookies and all that good stuff. And so we might as well get to the news about Extreme Content. It was a fantastic event. Extreme Content always worries me every year because the thing on the marquee, when you drive up to Veterans Park, it says AIWF Wrestling, right? Extreme Content historically is known for stipulation matches, really like a lot of no DQ stuff that Jim Cornette would say, lazy booking, right? But that's what the show is. That's what it's always been. Heavy stipulations, a lot of no DQ stuff, a lot of wild matches, right? It's sort of like deal with the steel without the cage. So we do it twice a year, right? Where it's not really any classic wrestling matches. It's just basically a card full of fights with an ECW mid-90s type feel. And I always worry going into that the audience is going to get bored with that type of thing because, like, usually in a wrestling card, you want to have guys on there that do classical, straight up wrestling. Some that do amateur style, some that do catch as catch can, then some that do the hardcore. And you want a variety of things, right? To just, keep it fresh. So it's always worries me when we go into Extreme Content that the audience is not going to like it. But for the second year in a row, I have had people come up to me as I was trying to leave the building and tell me how much they enjoyed it, and it's really an interesting anomaly, So, but it was a great show. My goodness, we have new world tag team champions. The Rustlers defeated the Sududes with Attitudes last night. We crowned a brand new hardcore champion, Mid-Atlantic hardcore champion in the toolbox match. That is Ty Tyson. And let's see, everything else stayed put. Beer City Brawler and JAC had one hell of a match. Clara defended the women's championship in a last man standing match against Jasmine Howe, which was absolutely impressive. And we've got footage, some of it we can show you. But I think one of the things that really maybe messed with everybody's head was what happened after the Sududes with Attitudes match. Mickey Fulp turning on Joe Harrison, turning on the fans, going on this incredible rant. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to try to find that. And we'll take a look at the video while we wait on our co-hosts to come back. See if I can find it. But it was just a fantastic event. I mean, there were some things that happened on the event that were just, very unfortunate. And that happens at wrestling events. Emotions run high at these type of things. And let's see. I'm trying to get it queued up for you. Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. Let me share this with you. We'll take a look and a listen. And this is natural sound. This is from the fan cam. So you're just going to hear natural sound here. Let me play with the volume a little bit and make sure to blow your freaking eardrums to pieces. And it's not giving me an option to mess with the volume yet. I guess I have to roll it. Yeah, here we go. The former champions, they don't have anything to be ashamed of. You ask me, nothing to be ashamed of. What a match, sensational match. They should not feel ashamed of losing that. It was a tough match. But kudos to our former World Tag Team Champions, the Sududes, Joe and Mickey talking over there. Rejected. Listen! Oh, he's trying to break his arm. He's trying to break his arm. Mickey focus. Oh, snap. Joe Harrison can't believe it. Choking Joe Harrison down. Mickey Fulton certainly not in his right mind. Don't cut! Shut the hell up! And for those of you listening on podcast, one thing I don't mention in the commentary here is now he's got a chair, Mickey Fulp does, and listen to this. Yeah, he's going to try to break his hand. He's trying to. He's getting it. Sorry if I was out of frame. I just got a photograph in my hand. Microphone. I just want every single one of you people to know you made me do this. You can boo me. I don't give a damn because I've always hated every single one of you people. I can't even know how to deal with my fiance, but I keep pushing and putting and following me. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of pretending I like you because I never have. I've always hated every single last one of you. And yeah, to be honest, it was meant to crack. I was meant to crack. So, anything I do to any of your fellow wrestlers, it's on you, the people. You wonder why I hate you? 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago you loved me. 10 minutes ago you loved me. Now I suck. You people like you were told to look because you were not controlling your own minds. You were mere puppets. Tell me I suck. Tell me I suck again. You people love me for it. And all of a sudden, again, like I said, you're told to hate me now, so you hate me. And guess what? Guess what? I've always hated you. You people are nothing more than a dollar sign to me. You know that? You always know that. You guys are a bunch of inbred, dumbass hillbillies, and I'm glad you don't like me no more. This one's for you. Also, screw your snot-nosed little brats, too. That was difficult to watch. Again, Brian, I know you were there, Reagan. That's your first time seeing that, but yeah, bad. It was unexpected. Mickey Fulp just... And he gave a reason that I thought was kind of odd. I can't even go out and eat with my fiance without you guys bothering me. Kind of par for the course if you're a public figure, you know. I mean,
Right.
you got to expect that. I know it's annoying, I mean, I try to not do that if I see celebrities out. You guys know I'm an auto racing fan. I can walk into any restaurant down here in Concord and Kannapolis and see a NASCAR person during the week, but you don't hassle them when they're not at work. So I understand where Mickey's coming from, but you got to understand not everybody thinks that way. They're like, oh, that's the guy from the internet. Oh, wow. Let me say, hey. And so I just thought that, I know it's got to be more than that, but it was just something strange to me, Brian.
Yeah, because I mean, that's probably been happening to him for years now. And yeah, sometimes people can come up to you in a respectful way, like just quickly, like, I don't want to bother you. I just want to say I'm a big fan and just wanted to say hello. And then some people will want to take up your time. It's like your food is sitting there getting cold while somebody wants to talk with you. But again, that's obviously not the only reason. I guess is one reason he's giving, but I mean, the fact that he's saying that he's always hated the fans and that he's just been putting on this act for all these years is just shocking. But the most shocking thing to me was that Joe Harrison isn't just his tag team partner. It's his, they've been friends for longer than they've been tag partners. And just in that moment of rage, you just threw that all away. Because he's frustrated because he lost a title, a title that they could very well have regrouped and got a rematch and won back, in a couple of months. Yeah.
And it didn't end there. I just got some exclusive video that was shot backstage of Joe Harrison receiving medical treatment, and it got worse. So let me get that queued up, and we'll take a look at that. But it's this is probably, I'd say, in the running for most disturbing story that has come out of Extreme Content. Let's take a look and a listen right here to Joe Harrison getting treatment in the back after the show.
Can you feel that? I think it's broken. Can you feel me pinching or something? I think it's broken. What? Okay. I felt. Where the hell is Mickey? I don't know where he is. I'm right here. Hey, go! Get him! Go! Hey, get on! Mickey! Mickey, I swear. No, shut up. Shut up. Don't do this, Mickey. Shut it down. Put it down. Mickey, don't do this. You have done enough. Mickey. Your message has been sent. Put it down. Put it down, Mickey. Put it down. Get out. You have done enough. Come on.
And that's that. Thoughts? I don't know who that guy in the ponytail is, but he should not stick his nose in when a wrestler is raging like that. The best thing you can do is get the hell away.
Yeah. He's new. He's going to find out. He's lucky that Mickey Folk was concentrating on Joe Harrison and wasn't really concerned with what day 2 trainee was had to say.
Yeah.
But
that's your warning, day 2 trainee. Next time it's probably going to be nap time. So just stay away from wrestlers when they're raging. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, get some more ring time in before you before you tell a seasoned wrestler that he's done enough.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're right, he has, but you don't get to say that.
No. Not no. Mm-mm. You can reason with most wrestlers when they're not some wrestlers when they're not in the heat of the moment, but when they're in the middle of something like that, and obviously, like you guys were saying earlier, this is something that it must have been boiling over for many years, and so yeah, I don't think it was a good idea to jump in there, but he'll learn,
Well, and just the plus, I mean, and in his defense, what Mickey was doing was just so reprehensible, even after what he had already done. He was just almost pleading with Mickey, like, come on, you've made your point, you've done enough. But Mickey didn't think he had done enough, and so he wanted to do a little more.
I have not heard any official word about the condition of Joe Harrison. I heard rumors last night that his hand was broken when Mickey Phelps smashed that 2x4 down on his hand. I mean, that's probably going to crack some bones, I would feel like.
I can't imagine that it wouldn't be. I mean, I don't see how it couldn't have broken at least some bones in his hand. If you're going to have if it's 2x4 versus bone, 2x4 is going to win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just no way that there isn't some, at least a few broken bones in his hand. It's just a question of how badly the breaks are, and whether or not they're going to be able to heal, or if he's going to have surgery. So it's just really up in the air right now.
Another telling piece of that was at the beginning when Mickey turned on Joe. It's like Joe couldn't even fight back because he was paralyzed because he was so confused. Rick Diesel, I know you're just coming back. We showed the aftermath of the Mickey Phelps Joe Harrison match with the Rustlers. You're muted. You're muted.
There it is.
There you go. Go ahead. We didn't show any of the match, but we showed the aftermath when Mickey turned on Joe and then his rant to the crowd. And then we got a video just before we went on the air of the incident in the locker room after the show, where it looked like Mickey Phelps had broken Joe Harrison's hand with that 2x4. So that was we were just talking about how unexpected it was. I mean,
Matt, you got a text message coming in.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. That's up from last.
Anyway, yeah, them damn spoilers. Some people can't help ourselves.
What? Did you not want me to give any results or anything?
No, I don't mind that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it wasn't used. It's fans. I mean, you can't. It is a little aggravating though when you're so excited about releasing something, and all of a sudden everybody sees they know everything before it comes out. Age of the internet, bitches. Age of the internet. Nothing I know about it.
Yep. Come live. You don't hear me bitching about not knowing what's going on.
Well, here's the thing. You're going to have to wait till it comes out on the Roku. We got to get it produced and all that kind of stuff. And then you'll see your fan cam footage on YouTube and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But it's always best. Let me tell you one thing. All right. And I'm the person who knows. I'm the only person on the planet that knows. This Extreme Content had some of the God blessed best commentating that we have had in a long time.
Yeah. Well,
it was on it, boy.
Yeah. I would just say this: when you're holding your microphone, don't get down on it like this right here, and then yell, because this is what it sounds like. That's the only advice I would give you, because I did hear some of that.
Well, we do need to. I think we need to adjust. Sometimes though you can't, and I think Reagan can attest to this. Sometimes you can't tell. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They need headsets.
Yes, that's exactly what they need.
On it. But you can't tell the volumes when it's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you put it over on video, and all of a sudden it's a lot louder than it was there.
The trick is if you watch the level indicator on the board and you see the red lights coming on, even if it's the first ones, like if you see the red lights as you're talking, blinking those first two, you need to back away from the microphone a little bit. You should never get into the red whatsoever, because on digital equipment, if you're in the red, you can actually corrupt a file by doing that. So it's gotten better.
And that's something that they got to watch out there, because we can't see it back in the back.
Yep. And so
sometimes when I'm listening, I can tell, and I'll tell them to calm down, or if I tell them that they're not loud enough. So because we went from not being loud enough to
too loud.
Being too loud.
Yeah.
Sound.
I try to adjust it sometimes in post, but
there ain't but so much you can do. The thing is, sound is such a difficult demon to slay, because like you just said, Reagan, either it's too soft or it's too hot, and it's really hard to get that perfect level. So,
and you'd be amazed how hard it is to concentrate when during the course of the show, 25 people try to have a conversation with you, even though you're wearing headphones.
Yeah.
That's why I just tell everybody to fuck off and leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Back away slowly. Get out of what do we call it? The production truck. Back out of the truck slowly. Look, something interesting has been went around social media that created a stir that I want to share with you guys. If you can see this, that is, it says it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to learn from Con Kelly. But look at the date. It's July 32nd. 777 Nick Kick Rocks Road, Bangkok, Ohio, 1 a.m. to 1:02 a.m. So anybody that thought this was real.
Nobody thought that was real.
I met one person yesterday.
Are you serious?
Yep. So just want to put it out there. It's like
not real.
Not real. None. I don't know if Con O'Kelly's actually doing his own seminar, but that one ain't it. So, but anyway, because we were talking about the seminar with the Beer City Bruiser last week, and I thought it was very unique to we were talking.
Oh, which, by the way, he had two that only lasted minutes or less.
Really?
Yeah, he had a couple that didn't make it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, most of the ones that showed up did good. There was a couple of newbies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be when you're in there. You got to weed out.
Yes.
I mean, that's an old school way of doing it, but you got to. If they don't make it, you can't feel bad for them.
No.
Because this is not supposed to be a damn feel bad business.
No, and wrestling, despite what everybody says, is not for everyone. That's America you're thinking about. You got to be an athlete. You got to be you got to be an athlete. You got to be able to go in that ring. You got to be able to talk. And if you can't do that stuff, sorry, folks, no virtue signaling here. We judge you in the Mid-Atlantic by what you can do in that ring and on that microphone, and that's all that counts. And what kind of money you can draw. And that's it in wrestling. If you can't do those three things, get out of the ring. Bye. Later. See you. That's why you don't
go, Reagan. I seen it right on the edge.
Yeah.
It was right there. Go ahead. Spit it out.
The art of the promo has fallen to the wayside. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's because I don't know if I should say that. I'm not going to say that. I'll make people mad.
Fuck them. Make them mad.
I think maybe when you get the majority, and I'm not saying this for everybody, but if you get the majority of your training from somebody whose only job was to go on the mat 1, 2, 3 and never talk on the mic, you're not going to learn how to do a good promo.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good way to say
fine.
it?
That's as Mickey Folk would say, that's fair.
That's fair.
And I'm not saying that they're not becoming good technical wrestlers. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there are some people who never got to do the art of the promo because of their job status.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So
J-O-B.
I remember hearing Rick Flair say many years ago that he would have never made it out of wrestling in used car lots if he couldn't talk on the microphone. And Flair is a technical genius. or was in the ring. So, that means a lot.
Well, but here's the thing, and for anybody who's going to wrestling schools or thinking about going to a wrestling school, learn what you can, but don't think you'll learn it all there, because they're not going to teach it all to you. Get out into the world, and it's not about how many damn states you wrestle in. God, stop that.
I figured this was coming.
I mean, come on, man. Oh, look, I wrestled in 14 states, Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not about this. It's about what you learn and what you know. They don't, when you turn in your resume to WWE or AEW or Impact or any of those guys, they don't get and say, now, I want to see how much Joe Blow here, how many states he wrestled in, because if he ain't wrestled in those states, I'm damn sure I'm going to sign him to no contract.
Yeah.
It's about learning. And don't think you learn everything from just your trainer. Be open to learn from other people. And I say that because there's a lot of guys come from wrestling schools to work in the Mid-Atlantic. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. We try our best. I actually had this conversation with Beer City Brozier last night. Up here, we try our best to be a teaching company as well as an entertaining wrestling, will beat your ass company. But we try to teach guys on their, from their trainer, and it's not. I ain't throwing off on everybody's trainer. Don't get pissed off about that. Turn us in. But what I'm saying is if they're working with a bunch of students, they may not have time, or you may have missed anything. But just be open to learn from other people, because it is an art form. You know what I'm saying? And you can never, it'll take you years. I don't give a damn who you are, what you say, or who you think you might be someday. It'll take you years to learn everything.
Well, and there have been workers in the past who are considered names, who sent children to certain training schools for the basics and for the techniques, and then once they got ready, then they sent them on to like Power Plant or Ohio Valley, back in the day for WWE and stuff. So it's like a 7-layer dip. You gotta have your foundation, but
right.
You have to add all the other stuff to get to the good parts, so you can eat it all at one time.
Right, and don't think you have to learn everything from one cook. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say, think about the Bravado brothers. They laid their foundation with us. They did the work with us. Then once they went out, they went out to, and spread their wings, and then went to Ring of Honor and did their training and learned how to do stuff for the Ring of Honor show. And then they went to Japan and learned how to do it at Japan. And then that led one to WWE. And I can't remember what his name is now, but Chase. Andre Chase.
Chase, yeah. So there's you have to be open to say, I know this, but I need to know more. You should always be a sponge. And and I could see where people are like, well, you're just a company that runs a Mount Airy and no. But we've been making people that have gone on for 30 years.
Yeah. We're a company that runs in Mount Airy, but we're a company who's been running for 31 years.
Mm-hmm.
We might know a thing or two.
Maybe.
That other people don't know. You know what I'm saying? And there was a time when we run every weekend to sold out buildings in 4 states. Mm-hmm. As I've said it 1,000 times, I'll say it 1,000 more. As a plan, you guys right here know this, especially 2 of them. There's plenty of times that we've come over the top of that mountain on 77 watching the sun come up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I think people, you need to be humble, but you can also be an ass, but you can be a little bit humble. You know what I'm saying? Just learn from the people that are around you. Learn from the people that that have done a lot in their lives, and just be willing to learn, and you know, like, that's just something you have to figure out over time, I think.
Right.
But you see so many people that just have such terrible attitudes because they were trained by such and such and such and such and such and such. And I'm like, no, you weren't. You were trained by somebody who was trained by them, who was trained by them, who was trained by them, who was trained by them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not because it comes across as sounding disrespectful, but I'm just saying, learn your foundation and then be open to learning other stuff, especially the art of a promo, which
Yeah.
going all the way back to is just not there anymore.
Yeah, because I know somebody that was trained by Dr. Tom Pritchard. And when you've been trained by somebody who's actually been to the big dance, you act a certain way. And guess what?
Mhm.
As soon as you walk in that locker room, we can tell. As soon as you open your mouth, we can tell. You know.
Well, I think the biggest problem, and this is rampant in the business now, even with some of the older guys that's training, is everybody comes out of training thinking they're a superstar. Nobody thinks that they have to put in the time, but that's also a problem with a lot of the promoters. Like I seen a thing the other day, a promo picture of a wrestler that had just come out of a school, still actually in school, but real close to graduation. And, or I guess that's what they call it now. We just call it, they used to call it, hey, you don't have to get your ass beat anymore. But this promotion had took this person that was still in training in school and made this big promo picture of him. Come in to our show, you know, on such and such day, and all these, you know, this as fancy, you know, just give them their own promo picture, and that affects these kids. You know what I'm saying? Because they come in and then they go somewhere else, and they're like, okay, you need to be doing this with me, and you need to be doing this with me, and you know, I've been in the business almost a year now, and I need to have this, and I need to have that, and unfortunately, that's a bit of a cancer in this business anymore.
I'm a $50 guy, like Jimmy.
Yeah.
Say.
Nobody wants to, for lack of a better term, do the job for the veterans anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They think they need it now. They want it now, and because they've, you know, oh, I'm through training. I finished my training 6 months ago. I need to be, you know, I need a belt. Give me a damn belt.
You know, Arn Anderson said on his podcast for the first 3 years of his wrestling career, after he got out of training, he never won a match. Never. First 3 years.
That's the way it was.
And he was wrestling every night because he came up in the territory days. You know, so, I mean, that's something to think about, guys.
I know my first few matches when I first got into the business was painful. And I spent a lot of time looking at the ceiling. But I learned, see, you got to respect the business. Don't make a damn who else in the dressing room. Once you respect the business, you'll respect the veterans.
Mm-hmm. And not to keep harping on stuff I'm watching now, but it's like you can be the most technical wrestler there is, doing some of the best looking stuff, but how many people outside of real wrestling fans know who Tim Horner is?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know, I mean, he was a fantastic wrestler. Fantastic, but could not talk. Brian Lee, not a fantastic wrestler, nor good on the mic. But I'm just saying, like,
and real good at impersonating the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So I mean, like, you know, it's and you see that with a lot of guys who were, you know, Brad Armstrong, great, I would say one of the best technical wrestlers of all time. Terrible on the mic. Yeah. They couldn't get him over to save his life.
Yeah, because I remember Jushin Thunder Liger talked about how he was one of his favorite people to wrestle because his his style matched so well with the Japanese style that he always loved wrestling Brad Armstrong because he was so good. But again, he couldn't talk, and so nobody cared.
Right. And
And
that
I mean,
was a lot
yeah,
worse
Paul
back
Roma.
then than it is now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about people didn't care more back then, because now, you know, a lot of times guys will do horrible on the mic, but you know, they got 40 cousins in the crowd. So
yeah. But don't let us, for you young wrestlers, don't let it sound like that we're just harping on the younger generation. Because this has been an issue. It's a little more rampant now with the internet and all that kind of stuff. You know, it makes it readily available. But I remember back in 97 or 98, we held an open tryout at Stewart Rotary Field, and Don Carson led it.
shit. Yeah.
And I remember that not going well for a lot of the participants in that, but one or two of the guys hung around and stayed with us and actually worked their way up the card. Reagan, do you remember that?
I do, but also this goes back to me when I first, because Rick did not want a female wrestler. He did not. He was 100,000% against it, because he said she's not going to do it. She's not gonna make it. And back in the day, they used to give I might have told this story again, since it's 4-point bumps where they grab one guy grabs one arm. So 4 guys are holding Carson, Gemini, who else? Possibly Chains, and I can't remember the other one. And they pick you up and they throw you up as far as they can, and you land and bump back down on the ring before you even learn how to bump.
Yeah.
And I took 4 of those.
Don't forget to tuck your chin. That's the last advice they give you. That's the last thing you hear before your head starts ringing. Oh boy. But what was fun about that day in Stewart is we had already wired up all the TV stuff for filming and everything. So the boys that got there early got to sit in the locker room and get the feed from outside of the training camp as me and Billy called Don Carson torturing these people. I remember one guy showed up, got in the ring with earrings, which were subsequently removed the hard way. And he left. There was another dude that was every bit of 600 pounds that showed up there, who was, you know, usually 600-pound gentlemen are not in great shape. That was the case with this individual. I think he rolled out of the ring and puked on the floor, and we had to mop that up before we let the crowd come in. He lasted about 5-10 minutes. It was like, so don't take it the wrong way, young folks. It's not us harping on young people. There's always been a slew of people that had no business in the ring trying to get in the wrestling business that thought they could do it.
The difference is, back then, the rule of thumb for tryouts was make them leave.
Yeah.
Make them not come back, because that's how you knew who wanted it. Is you beat them until they left, and if they stayed, then they wanted it. And nowadays, it's the training schools want your money more than they want your loyalty. Or they don't care. And we've seen so many people that's made it through schools that had no business whatsoever being anywhere other than in the seats with the fans. And the guys don't know it. They're just and like, well, again, like Matt says, we're not throwing off on people. They don't realize it because they go in there, they give their money, they're living their dream, and these trainers are telling them, "Oh, you're doing great, you're doing great. That'd be another $40. You're doing great, you're doing great. Oh man, you really come a long way this week. Give me another $40." And that's what it's about. They don't care if you don't belong in the business and that's even for your safety. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't give 2 shits if you go out there and look stupid and people are laughing at you that they're not telling you.
Have you guys ever seen that video of it's down in Florida, Eddie Graham territory? I think it's in the 70s, and they're filming Bob Roop stretching.
I've seen that.
Have you seen that where the guy's screaming?
That's the shooter video. I call it shooter video.
Yeah, that's rough.
I love
what he was saying to him when he was stretching. You come in here with them brand new pretty tights, calling yourself a wrestler, thinking you could do what I do for a living? And he'd pull up on his arm and the guy would scream.
Well, I remember not that one, but I think is it Inoki, the one where he goes off on that big guy that won't sell for him.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was during a match, not during a tryout.
Yeah, but the 70s one was during a tryout. Okay.
Yeah.
I just think about somebody getting in the ring that know what they're supposed to be doing.
My old man shoulders. When I went for my tryout, it was. Like I said, for people who don't know the story, I got into the wrestling business because I was home one day by accident. If I hadn't been home, we wouldn't be sitting here now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was home, didn't have nothing to do. A friend of mine come by and said, "Hey, I'm going to wrestling school. You want to go?" I was like, "Yeah, I ain't got nothing else to do." So I rode with him, and they taught me into doing a tryout. And they beat me. I come home bloody. My chest was bloody. My nose was busted. My lip was busted. I think I might have loose teeth. Hell, I don't know. But that's the only thing that he who shall not be remained that got me into business. He shall not be named. But anyway, the only thing he ever done to me was bring me in properly, and teach me the basics. If he hadn't have been as bad of a trainer as he was, I would have never ventured out. That's why I tell people this about this, because if I'd have stuck with my trainer and kept my undying loyalty to him, as bad as he was, I would have never ventured out and met Wahoo McDaniel. I would have never ventured out and met, Ivan Koloff, who taught me here. And then I learned, and I learned what I learned, because I ain't the best wrestler in the world. I've never have been. That's why I always done the matches that I've done. But I've never been technical. Was never my thing. Brian Dedsey, the king of hardcore at AIWF, was twice the technical wrestler I ever dreamed of being. But they taught me in here, which translated to here, and I got good on the mic, and I guess that's kind of what I'm known for.
For those of you,
if it hadn't been for a shitty trainer, I would have never went out there. So
Diesel was pointing in his mouth there. Just for
yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't know who Wahoo McDaniel is, Google it.
Please turn off.
Yeah,
turn it off.
Yeah.
You're
Go watch
probably
Paw Patrol.
you're probably not watching this.
You're not welcome here.
You're probably not watching this. Let's see. All right, so here, let me do some commercials real quick, and we'll keep moving. Because I'm kind of unclear as to how much I can divulge from what happened last night. So let's see here. Can you guys see the slideshow?
They canceled Adam Cole's match tonight.
Did they? Why is he sick?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can look at him and tell something's wrong. I mean, I don't mean to sound cruel or anything, but man, the dude does not look healthy. Let's see here. Premier Auto Detailing, hands down the best car service. Let's try that again. Retake them. Premier Auto Detailing, hands down the best car cleaning service in town. They can do individual jobs for you. If, like I said, I always use the example, if you've had a truck up on blocks in the backyard for the last 30 years and you finally got the motor running in it, new transmission, and you're ready to clean it up and take it to town and show off to all the girls, Premier Auto Detailing, get that thing ready to rock and roll. All you need to do is dial 336-883-5722. That's 336-883-5722. Premier Auto Detailing also does fleet service work as well. So if you've got a used car lot or a company where you do some kind of, you got a whole bunch of trucks or something that need washing, waxing care, cleaning care, Premier Auto Detailing can help you out. All you got to do, like I say, give them a call, 336-883-5722, 336-883-5722. And we'd love to tell you about T's Creations Custom Apparel. They're an apparel service that works It runs out of the Mount Airy area. You can visit them at teescreations22.com. That's teescreations22.com. No punctuation in that website address. You can also visit them at Tees Creations by Allied Apparel.
There you go.
On Facebook. And oh, that reminds me, that picture of Zuckerberg reminds me of something we'll talk about after the break. But teescreations22.com, teescreations22.com, custom made shirts, koozies, sweatshirts, hoodies. They got you covered, man. If you need a custom, they've got normal designs, that are available on their website for regular type shirts. But if you need like for Little League baseball team, family reunion, anything like that, reach out to them. They'll be glad to help you out, and they can meet most any needs. teescreations22.com, Tees Creations, and we thank them so much for our sponsorship. And if you
I'm still trying to get them to make me a shirt that just says bullshirt on it.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Bullshit. Yeah. Oh, and anybody ever ask you about it, be like, oh, it's a rodeo thing. They won't know any different. And then
this is my bullshirting.
Unless you run into a real cowboy and they'll be like, no, it ain't. What the hell are you talking about? But we're putting a headlock on high advertising prices. If you'd like to join this fun goof troop of a show that we have here, we'd love to help you out. Man, we are really, really, really trying to give you the most bang for your buck. $10 a month. Get your reads like you just heard on the show every week. And if we take a couple of weeks off, like it's coming up in July, that don't affect you. You get 4 reads for 10.
We got to discuss that.
Oh, okay. What do you mean we got to discuss that?
The July thing. You got to unmute, Reagan.
Wait, why? What?
We got to discuss July.
I'm not.
Is this what we were talking about?
I'm not through selling yet. Hang on. AIWF20 at hotmail.com. You reach out, we can get you on all these platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Roku. This show airs on Roku, although
that's AIWF Wrestling channel. Hey, just go on Roku and search AIWF, and you get that channel. It'll be on there, and plus Extreme Content will be on there.
Yep, and no paywalls. Woo-hoo.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So we're there. Your advertising is going to be seen a lot of places. That we stretch that dollar, believe me. All right, you said you wanted.
Yeah, we got to talk about July. Reagan, unmute. We got to talk about July. Okay, we know Matt's going on a trip. Okay,
to a land far, far away.
And there's a slim, but not non-existent chance that he might die.
Or get kidnapped.
Or for
ransom.
Right. And so
and we don't have enough money.
If you see us come up, if you see us come up, the Ringside Wrestling come up with an odd GoFundMe account, you'll know Matt Carter has been kidnapped. But we have to address what we're doing while you're gone. That's 2 weeks, Matt.
Yeah, I know. It's just 2 weeks. So
I know, but what if you get kidnapped? We have to have a contingency plan in place.
Easy. I already thought of it. All you'll need to do is just start up a Zoom account for yourself, and you can continue on. The YouTube channel might be an issue because that's kind of locked down.
You catch up when you get back. If you don't get back, then I don't know what to tell you. No. But maybe
if I don't get back, I won't care.
Yeah, if you don't get back, if you get kidnapped, it won't matter.
But how? So
I have another YouTube channel, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
We've reactivated the old Mid-Atlantic channel. It's doing good. Do you want me to put these shows on there? I forgot to ask you about that.
I don't know if that's
we'll leave these where they're at, but if you get kidnapped, then we'll start putting them over there.
Okay, so that's a contingency.
All right, that's our contingency Matt getting kidnapped plan. But
I guess we still need to figure out what we're going to do for those 2 shows.
You're going to have to do you might have to do the Zoom thing, Reagan, because I got old man shoulders, which means I'm probably not smart enough to do it.
If you're going to broadcast it live, you're going to have to subscribe. So, I don't know if that's a can of worms.
Matt, you're going to have to, I don't know how to do any of that. All I know how to do is free stuff.
I would suggest sticking to the free stuff, because if you want to do a Zoom stream like we're doing now, you're going to have to sign up for it and subscribe. And I don't think for 2 weeks it'd be worth it. Now, if I don't come back, then you look into it. It's pretty easy to figure out. But
well, we did do that thing at one time where we all gathered down there.
People didn't like that though. Pissed me off. But people didn't like. People complained about that.
What did they say? They didn't like it.
There were some official people that didn't like it.
Official people, like, you know, the mayor.
Oh, don't say it and then start drinking something and not tell us.
I know.
It's possible that the president of the network didn't like it.
What's in that almond milk? I thought it was just almond milk.
But it smells like paint thinner. What's going on here?
It's chocolate almond milk.
Yeah. Oh wow, is that what we're calling Grandpa's
milk and almond?
I think.
I feel like now it's the assistant producer of the network that,
you can do it.
With
You can do it. You're part of the network now too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Kevin Phoenix thought it was entertaining.
Oh, that reminds me of something I wanted to bring up.
He don't have to watch it.
Yeah, he doesn't have to watch it. But speaking of Kevin Phoenix,
I'll do it in a Speedo. That'll be entertaining.
Please,
Like, not in my house. So I have to come down there and do it.
Yeah, y'all do that while I'm
my
gone.
children, that will kill my children. They would die.
Y'all do that while I'm gone. Shit. Oh,
Watching
so
old
anyway,
I see Reagan's mama doing this.
So James, just so I'm gonna put it out there, everybody knows, I'm coming back to the Pines. We'll be there July. Let me see, just so you know, because I got a couple of buddies over there that I used to work with that actually do watch this show. And we'll be there like the 8th or the 9th. I don't know. And because the time difference is confusing, but that's when we'll be there. I'll be there for a couple of weeks.
Where you might get kidnapped.
Well, I ain't going down to Zamboanga. I'm staying in Luzon.
So you're telling people where you're going on the internet.
Yeah. If you could, I wouldn't mind bringing back a lady. If there's one that wants to move in with me and do some housework and other things.
Reagan wants you to smuggle her one in, a housekeeper.
There you hear it, everybody. Reagan, she wants a slave. So
I do not. I will pay.
So, you sure you weren't born in South Carolina, Reagan?
Room and board, all the almond milk she could drink.
I'll say, you know what we need around here is some more help.
I was just talking about a female companion.
Oh, well, I don't know. If your husband's okay with it, you know, that's we're getting in deep water here. He gave a thumbs up, so all right.
But oh my God, I'm not even gonna make it to my new shoot job.
Let's see here. Okay, so
what they'll do is they'll introduce her. They'll introduce her, say, and filling in today, an expert on slavery.
Here.
Because she has one.
All right, so welcome to.
We're gonna get kicked. That's gonna get us kicked off again.
Let's talk about the founding of Jamestown. Let's talk about 1607. Hey, I'm sorry, it's American history. You know, deal with it. So Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are going back and forth about having a cage match someplace, and I think that AEW would be the perfect place to book that. Do you guys ever think this?
No, that'll never happen. My God,
it's like
I don't know. I think it will, because
I think their wives are tougher than they are.
I think Elon Musk will kick Zuckerberg's ass just because.
Well, but the thing is, Zuckerberg is like some kind of big time jiu-jitsu guy. He like won some kind of jiu-jitsu tournament, because I thought the same thing. But yet then I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, Mark Zuckerberg actually like won some kind of jiu-jitsu tournament a couple of months back.
Well, you think so? What you're saying is because his name is Zuckerberg, you think he's a Jew Jitsu.
Lord have mercy. That is absolutely not what he said.
Old man's shoulders. I don't know no different.
Go put a shirt on.
It's
Go
like
put
the
a
guy.
shirt on.
It's like that guy on Seinfeld. I'm an old man. I'm confused.
But well, I was reading a thing today or yesterday that it can't be an MMA fight because of it would have to be a catch weight because they don't fit in the same weight class.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute. I
because
just
I
don't know
Both of them are rich enough to where they could make it happen.
And right now we should know one thing about stupid fucking rich people. They will pay a huge amount of money to go die.
Yes, they will.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I got I'm mad about that.
well, here's the thing about that. Yeah,
And they'll take their kids.
force their kids.
Well, yeah.
Because that's the only reason the kid went was because he's afraid he's going to disappoint dad. I read an article on NPR about that this week, and we're talking about the submarine that went down to visit the Titanic wreckage that had been warned by the deep sea diving community, like that product, that vessel they were using was not up to being able to withstand the pressure. And the implosion was so loud under the water that the U.S. Navy picked it up and they had a report about it. Now, they didn't tell the general public that because that's national security. But after everything started to piece together over the next few days, the Navy came out and thought, oh, yeah, we picked that up Sunday. And I read an article this week that said that they knew they were in trouble and had dropped their weights to ascend, but it was too late. The thing still, the ocean crushed it like a beer can.
I think it was a megalodon.
A megalodon.
I
think the water's too cold in that part of the Atlantic for a fish.
Well,
they go wherever they want to, man.
There was a guy, I just read, there was a guy, a businessman from Las Vegas, and the guy invited him and his son had been researching it and said that, he was worried about a giant squid. He was worried about a sperm whale. And
Megalodon.
the guy said, the text saying, oh no, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. That's foolishness. And you can come for 100,000, not 250,000. And things didn't work out, but those text messages were chilling also.
Hey, and I'm sorry the people died. I am not one of these trolls on the internet who's making fun of those people. Yeah, they did something extremely stupid and kind of got what was coming to them. But I do feel bad for their families and friends, and especially their families and friends who probably begged them not to go. Like,
or the ones who's not in the wheel.
One of their families went to a Blink-182 concert, but while they were missing.
Oh wow!
So they didn't care.
He was in the wheel.
You've already got the tickets. I mean, if you've already got the tickets, I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean,
exactly. When you've already got tickets to something, it don't matter if your pops died or if it's something else going on. You're gonna go to that damn concert.
Wait a minute now. It's not the same as a cousin.
You inconvenience somebody or making a man with old man shoulders have to work harder than he should.
It's
different. He gets all stiff from sitting in a chair for 3 hours. That don't matter. Don't miss that concert.
I told you it's hot back there.
Look, it's not like cousin Eugene got lost in the woods behind a cabin, right? They are at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, in the North Atlantic, by the way, at the Titanic wreckage. It's not like, oh, well, we can't go to the concert because I gotta go jump in the water and swim to find Uncle Frank. You can't help them. I mean, so to me,
plus Clint Black is 1,000 times better than Blink-182.
Oh, about that, but I hadn't seen Clint Black in person. I've seen Blink-182, and they were really fun. So, but anyway, so rich people aside, I don't think that New York or California, which are two of the big boxing states, either one would license that fight. Now, Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh yeah, I think they'd be like, oh yeah, let's have a fight here.
We do it at the end of August.
Oh my God, it reminds me of, oh God, what did Kendo Slice? What did he bum fighting? He started out doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
kids, you missed a good set of DVDs back in the day, boy. Bum fights. It was violence and strippers. I mean, it was Yeah, it was
Smoke dog.
everything a 25-year-old guy, a single guy could want in an hour and a half long video. So
Well,
Even that was too much for me. Billy, I couldn't. No, I couldn't even handle those.
yeah,
I don't know how we got so far off from wrestling because this is supposed to be a wrestling
No.
show. But the last thing I'll say on it,
we were 30 people were listening to it.
the last thing that I'll say on it is I don't care if you're rich, poor, middle class, upper class, it don't matter. If you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. It's
Amen.
natural selection, and I feel sorry for the families, but not the victims because they're victims for a reason.
you know, and what's crazy about that, of all the people that warned them, famous Hollywood director James Cameron,
He knows.
because he's been to the Titanic wreckage a half a dozen times, he said, and I quote, "I have spent more time on the Titanic than the actual crew did when it was sailing," because he's been there so many times.
Right. And he knows blue people.
I went to the North Carolina History Museum had a Titanic like special thing, and they had the I can't talk. It really was almond milk. They had the submarine. They had the little submarine that they were in, like, because what they did is they went to a certain depth in that submarine, and then they released robots that they controlled to go through the Titanic.
Yeah. And
So it was very interesting. Brian wouldn't go in with it because he hates
they had the controllers on that sub.
well, the Titanic movie is a disgrace. But the disaster itself was, it was something that deserved, those people deserve to be remembered, because what James Cameron said I thought was very interesting. He directed the movie. He also directed the first and second Terminator movies, and nobody seems to be listening to the message in those either. AI. Oh my God, we've built Skynet. It's only a matter of time now. But clock's ticking. James Cameron tried to warn you, and he tried to warn you about that submarine, and nobody listened. All right, so, but he it was funny. James Cameron was talking about all those trips he's made down there, and he warned people about the vessel, and it's just, I don't know. It's it's just messed up. I lost my train of thought.
Well, we are supposed to be talking about wrestling. That's where our train of thought's supposed to be.
I'm just going to say Titanic is the most beautifully romantic movie of all time. You men have no hearts.
Well, playing off of that, I'm just sad Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't on that sub.
Oh wow, that's a real guy. Not just a character on TV.
He was good in the Reverend and that's though.
He was good
I can't say it, damn it, but it was a good movie.
He was good in What's Eating Gilbert Grape too. He was real good in that movie.
A bear.
Yeah. If you hadn't seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape, you'll get that joke later, I guess. All right, so a couple of other Rick Diesel. I kind of don't know what I can and can't talk about extreme content. I mean, I think, like we need to tell them the news and show them some of the video without giving away anything.
You don't spoil the ending. It's like a movie.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Well, shit. That's
Tyson already put on his page what happened with him.
Yeah, the results are out there, I think.
Yeah. But if you want to, it's not the destination. It's the journey. Don't ruin the journey. Everybody knows where it's going. Eventually, if you're taking vacation, you know where you're going, but you just have fun getting there. That's what we want.
Well, what I wanted to show, let me just to blatantly ask.
I mean, you don't want to see Yellowstone till you actually get there.
Yeah. I want to show the video of what happened after the toolbox match when a certain member of our team may have gone in the ring.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So I want to show that. Let me find it real quick here. We've been on the Titanic for so long. I've already started. Let's see here, because I just thought this was very interesting. Oh, we got a cat appearance here.
Get one every week.
756. Drink now. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. We got off on that tangent about rich people and
God, yeah.
all right. So
This is the most off the rails show. I mean, we can't stay on topic to save our lives, but I think that's what makes it entertaining.
yeah. So we might get in trouble for some copyright here, but I don't care. We'll figure out a way to talk over it.
I give you permission to show it. Oh, you must be talking about.
It doesn't last more than 30 seconds. It doesn't matter, right?
They've only popped me. Yeah, it seems that it has to be longer than that. So, but check this out. This was a little unexpected after the Ty Tyson match last night, and just thankful that the fan cam was able to capture this. Let's take a look and listen. As you can see, for those of you listening, Brian Danzig has gotten up from the broadcast table and is going into the ring. And the ring's still full of all the stuff from the toolbox match. Well, there's my commentary letting you know. And he picks up the belt. Ty Tyson team kind of puzzled by that. I think that's just the experienced wrestling veteran thinking he might be on the, receiving hand of the right hook.
Hey, getting that from Brian Danzig, I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's like getting cigars from Bill Clinton. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It means something.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And but I explained to the audience, a lot of the people that are in our audience are too young to know that Brian Danzig is the fucking hardcore legend of, yes. Northwest North Carolina. I'm sorry, and like the people that came to see the AIWF when we started going into Virginia into Bassett would always ask two questions. Is Brian Danzig going to be there? Is that the one that Rick Diesel's with? Because Rick was on the TV show, but who they wanted to see wrestle was Brian Danzig. And I'm not doing this to pump sunshine up his ass. I'm trying to give you some continuity as to like what a big deal it is for him. There's now a hardcore championship, something that we didn't have back in the day, even though we were hardcore. We didn't have a hardcore championship per se, but now there is one. And I thought it was just the most appropriate thing I've seen in a long time for Brian to be the one to go in there and actually kind of do a formal title presentation.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Oh yeah, I definitely. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I kind of a spur of the moment thing. I saw an opportunity. The belt was just kind of lying there in the middle of the ring, and I just thought it was a way to just kind of kind of give my stamp of approval, I guess, for the newly crowned hardcore champion. The match was really good. I thought all four participants did a great job. David Parrish, I know a lot of people were doubting his hardcore credentials, but I think he, even though he didn't win, I think he more than proved himself in that matchup. He went toe to toe with all of those veteran hardcore guys, but Ty Tyson came out the victor, and I tried not to be biased, but I can't help but to say that I was glad that he was the one that won that match, and I was glad I was able to hand the belt to him at the end of the match.
I don't know if any of you guys noticed it. I did not notice it last night when we were filming it, but I noticed it when I was uploading the video. Brian, when you got up out of that chair to walk to the ring, I remember back when I first started coming around wrestling and everything, like you could cut up and carry on with the wrestlers, but like several minutes before match time, their face would change. they were in fight mode, and you knew just not to say anything. You know, if I saw, I might be joking with Brian Danzig and Daniel Mays about something stupid we saw on Nitro the week before, but 5 minutes before their match, if I see them pacing back and forth in the locker room with that stare, I know to get the hell out of their way, right? They're getting ready for their match. And I don't know, Brian, when you got up, I saw that look that I hadn't seen in a lot of years, and I could see why Todd Tyson kind of looked at you like, okay, like, well, are you getting ready to waylay him with a right hand? Because that was that 1,000-yard stare I remember seeing back in the day when you were getting ready to go to the ring, and it was like, oh, okay. So you must have had some kind of a rush, man. It was something. Yeah.
Well, it is. It's that thing of I'm getting ready to step into a wrestling ring, and I had no intentions of fighting anybody, but whenever you step into a wrestling ring, you have to be prepared to defend yourself and to fight. That's just like I've said it a million times on commentary. A wrestler will turn their back on their opponent, and I'm like, they broke the cardinal rule. The bell hasn't rung, or the match is over. It doesn't matter. You don't turn your back on your opponent. You always have to be ready to defend yourself whenever you're in a ring, match or no match. And yeah, you kind of, it's almost like an automatic thing that just kicks in when you fought for years. When you step into a ring, you go into fight mode.
Mm-hmm. And what Brian just explained to you, if anybody wonders why this fat boy does his announcements from the outside of the ring, is exactly why. Because it's open season when you go in the ring. It doesn't matter if you're an announcer, a janitor, you know, or you're screwing in a light bulb above the ring. Anything can happen when you're in there. Just ask, what was the Dallas Cowboys owner, Randy Orton, caught him in an RKO back in like 2003. Dallas Mavericks owner, remember that guy? He came to Survivor Series and
oh yeah,
a pow, you know, for no reason. So yeah, so that was pretty awesome. That was a pretty awesome moment. But let's see. Injuries to report. Possible broken hand by Joe Harrison. We understand Clara's got something wrong with her elbow. Don't know how bad that is.
She was in a sling at the end of the night last night.
Yeah.
But when you see the match, when it hits ROKU and you see that match, you'll understand. I'm surprised at what the body cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a very brutal match. And yeah, just
Reagan would be proud.
No, I missed it. I really wish that I would have been there to see it.
And for the first time in Clara's title reign, I was genuinely thinking she was going down at a couple of points in that match last night. Jasmine Howe had her on the ropes, reeling and rocking. Clara was in big trouble. So,
but yeah, that been and again, I've said this before, but a sign of a true champion isn't just when you can just go in there and dominate and beat somebody. It's when you can go in there and you can take a beating, but yet you can still come back and win.
I'm not sure there was anybody in any match last night that did not take a beating.
no.
Oh,
all
no.
did.
God bless.
Yeah, everybody was limping out of the ring at the end of the match, winner or loser. Everybody was in bad shape.
Yeah, it was like Stewart, Virginia, 1999.
Yes, I told the Rustlers that story after the show last night, and told them I thought that their match with the Sioux Dudes last night was one of the most violent matches we've had in recent memory. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. I mean, one of the Rustlers got clotheslined out of his freaking boots.
Out of his boots.
They flew
literally.
One stayed
Literally
in the ring
out of his boots.
Finished the match in his socks.
Yes. Darren caught one of his boots. One of his boots flew all the way over there to where Darren sits playing the music, and he caught it. It was incredible. I'll see if I can find that footage and show it to the fans before we go, but I want to do our final ad read first. Is that okay with everybody if I do some commercials? Reagan, if you
Yeah, man.
get some more of that mountain flavored almond milk. Grandpa used to treat cough and cold. You can do that if you like. That was a joke. Did it not resonate? Oh, sorry. It's dead silence. Everybody good?
I'm good. I'm doing something.
Okay. All right.
I thought you was gonna read ads, so I went to do something else.
I am. I was just doing a joke that didn't seem to get over. AIWF Ringside Wrestling would like to say thank you again to our first sponsor, Branch Management. They are so awesome. They have been with us for a while now, longer than I can remember. I could go check the dates, but they can help you with branches that are maybe too close to structures, normal pruning, complete tree removal. Unfortunately, sometimes that has to happen. But we know you value your shade trees here in the South, and we want you to be able to keep those things happy and healthy. You know, you cannot let trees just go wild. They need proper pruning and maintenance to keep them healthy and away from structures and branches falling down into people's property and crushing small woodland creatures and all that kind of stuff that can be a problem. So they offer free estimates. They're here to serve you. They operate again in the Mount Airy, Surry County area. If you call them up and refer them to a buddy, you can get $100 referral bonus. You may be eligible for that. Always free estimates. And you can reach Branch Management at 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. I'll give you those numbers one more time. 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. Also, Branch Management does landscaping, pressure washing, gutter cleaning, just general landscaping work. If you need some of that done, they can help you out as well. That's a different number though. That's 336-648-2487 for the landscaping and pressure washing, gutter cleaning, general contracting service. One more time for that one. General contracting with Branch Management, 336-648-2487. And now, the most delicious concessions in wrestling. I challenge you to prove me wrong. We're talking about T's Treats. And Rick Diesel, I tried some of that stuffed crust pizza last night. And I will tell you, my friend, I see why it's such a big seller. Absolutely delicious. There's nothing on that food truck that's not good, folks. Great pizza.
You get done with this, man, I'll tell you a story about why I had to leave for a few minutes at the beginning of the show.
All right. So great pizza, delicious dogs, and decadent desserts. And they got mini donuts too. Oh my goodness. The stuff is just plumb delicious. You can call 336-755-8204. Leave them a message there and they'll contact you back for their availability. If you need a food truck to show up for something, T's Treats is the way to go, man. They got it all. That's just absolutely spectacular. And you can find them on Facebook as well. Just search T's Treats. Best concessions in wrestling. I guarantee. All right. All set.
Oh, me?
Does she still have the funnel cake with the Reese pieces on it?
Yes.
Okay. I've been wanting one of those ever since she started. But
yes.
I don't ever have time. I don't ever have time to go do anything because I'm always busy.
Well, the reason I had to leave the show for a few minutes at the beginning is because I had someone that had showed up here. And I went and talked to them, and we are, what does they call it when you're just feeling something out?
Testing the water?
What?
No. It ain't research, it's, I don't know.
Doing your due diligence.
Exploring the possibilities, maybe.
Yeah. Due diligence.
Of another truck. Another truck.
Oh. Expanding business.
Yes. Looking at the possibility. This is a different daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know how much I can say, but it may not happen. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But I hope it does. Because if it does, it'll be very interesting. It won't be associated with T's Treats because it's a more of a it's a different clientele.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not a stripper wagon. Who said that?
You're thinking it.
No, it's a possibility of a trailer that serves alcohol.
Oh, those are big around. I just saw one start around here.
Really?
It was real pop. Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but I just saw that on the food Facebook group I'm on. That would be fantastic.
That's what we're researching. But we got an extra trailer sitting around.
Well,
so I was talking to the guy about doing the remodeling on it and fixing it up and putting the kegs in and everything. But we got a lot. It's a long road because there's a lot of licensing. I mean, it's very strict.
Oh yeah.
But
if you could get it going, man,
youngest daughter's venture. So we shall see.
Yeah, I'd say put up with if I don't know if she watches, but youngest daughter, just put up with the bureaucratic bullshit right now, because I'm telling you, when you got these special licenses and permits to sell this kind of stuff, you can make you can make a fortune. So might be a headache.
She's gonna target like wedding parties, weddings, and stuff like that. For some reason, she said baby showers. I don't know, that was weird. But anyway,
I'm like
everybody else but the mother can drink, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I think she's on to something. I think it'll be awesome. Maybe someday it can be, the adult version of Tease Treats, I guess. I don't know, but who knows? We'll see what happens. And as it goes on, the guy's supposed to come pick it up tomorrow, take it, start working on it, and putting in new walls and, just see what happens. If it works out, it's going to be awesome. I keep you updated as it, maybe I'll go take pictures of it and we'll throw them up here. I don't know what the hell that has to do with wrestling. Other than the fact, if you go to the Coliseum and watch Raw, you can get drunk. But
well, people have always asked me for years why we don't sell booze at the wrestling show. And I think it's always been a liability issue, correct? Because you have to have different insurance. Some buildings don't want you to do that.
Right. They don't want it in the building. They don't even want smoking in the building. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, we got a reprieve last night with a barroom brawl. But
but that was a special occasion.
Yeah, it was a special occasion. Mm-hmm. They give us that one day a year. But I mean, plus I'm very weary about. But it comes. I come from the old school. Back in the day, there was fans that would stab you real quick.
Yeah,
and you put alcohol in them, it's even quicker.
Well, and see that I think that's what drove the Ole Anderson stabbing down in Greenville. When he got cut in the 70s, I'm sure there was alcohol involved in that, and Roddy Piper stabbing in the early 80s down in Raleigh, So, I mean, because all those buildings sold alcohol.
Right.
So, yeah, it can be kind of messed up. So this is one of you see a lot of things in wrestling over the years, but it really gets to a point after you've been in wrestling for so long that you can say, I saw something I've never seen before. And the older you get, I can tell I'm getting older because everything I see for the most part reminds me of something else, right? So when you see something that you've never seen before, it's really special. And we saw that last night, and I'm going to show you guys that clip right now, and I'm going to type the sound in so you can hear my reaction of the clotheslining out of the boots.
Oh, okay.
Out of that. Yeah, so here we go. All right, and action.
Can't see it.
Oh,
Just
seeing your arm and the black screen.
All right, sorry about that. Screen two.
Tease Treats need soft pretzels.
We tried that, or they tried that one time, and it didn't work well. They even had flavored ones.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Mickey Fulp and Joe Harrison building momentum against the wrestlers. Here, watch this. Here it is.
And the crowd
There
loved
he
it.
is, lying there in his socks. Yeah, there's one boot, one tax.
And Darren caught the other one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I'm like, you need to go work over. You got him now. Oh, mercy. That was something. I can't wait to see on the, when it comes out on Roku, if on the wide shot, you can see the fly over toward Darren. Because I like turned and looked as I'm filming with I film with this, the fan cam is basically this, it's my iPhone. And so I'm standing there like that. And Darren just reaches up and catches it like he knew it was coming. And there's no way you could have planned that any perfect. But if in Darren's defense, if he hadn't have caught it, it would have popped him right in the forehead. So that was a defensive move than anything, but that was incredible.
I'm just glad that they went that way, because if they went the other way, went in the crowd, I'd have got called to the office.
Yes, you would have. Oh, I've got some good fan cam footage of battling in the crowd that went on last night, and
I did not get called to the office over that. I was so thankful.
Would you like to see another clip, or be better hold on?
No, let's go. No.
I was gonna say, remind me next week before we go on the air. I got a clip that I don't know is ever gonna make it on YouTube from last night, but that I gotta show to y'all that is hilarious. But anyway, so all in all, I think Extreme Content more than lived up to its name again. I was telling the fans while you guys were away, sometimes I worry about that show because it's like in the same as Deal with the Steel. All cage matches, all stipulations. Extreme Content to me is Deal with the Steel without the cage. It's all special matches. It's like wrestling is on the marquee, but when you come to Extreme Content, you get a card full of fights, with stipulations. Mm-hmm. There's not many headlock takeovers and stuff at Extreme Content, but that people know that when they come in the door. And yet every year, 2-3 fans will walk up to me and stop me on my way to my car or back to the office after the show. Boy, that was awesome, Matt. And it's just incredible. People love, I don't think they want to see it all the time, every show, every match. But man, when you do a special show like that and give them that hardcore stuff, there's an element of the fan base that still loves that stuff. They really do.
Yeah, and they come out for it.
Yeah, it was just absolutely.
Yeah, you're exactly right. If you gave that to them every match, every event, I think they would get tired of it. But when you do a special event once a year, where every match is a hardcore or extreme match, they really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to desensitize the crowd. Because if you desensitize the crowd, they're not going to be as excited. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It becomes the norm.
Yeah. And then, you get to the point where they're like, well, somebody going to have to lose a finger before we can get these people to pop now. Right. But it's, So of all the shows I attended last year, I liked Extreme Content the best. And so far this year, I've liked it the best. I mean, it was just absolutely fantastic. And so, final thoughts on Extreme Content. I'm about out of topics. Has anybody got anything else they want to go over? We're getting close to the 2-hour mark here.
Yeah, I've done wandered off and doing other things, and Reagan's playing with her cat, so I figure it's about time to go.
Can I tell a funny Don Carson story real quick?
Sure. We're in the midst of the finals of the tournament.
So we were friends on Facebook, and there was a picture of me laying in bed with all my cats, and he put a comment on there about there sure is a lot of pussy in that bed.
That's a non-Carson comment, all right.
God bless you.
Yeah, I was very happy with Extreme Content from beginning to end. Great show, great matches all the way around. And I think everybody left there happy. Show went longer than usual.
Oh, yeah.
But, almost all the crowd stayed and were into it. And they just, from beginning to end, they were just as loud as from at the beginning to the very end. So,
and you know what?
They left happy.
You know what got me too? And I hate to interrupt you, Brian, but if I don't say it right, I'm old, I'll forget. The fact that at the end, when Justin Flash came in the ring, did either one of y'all notice the crowd chanting "Cash it in"?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They knew what that pig was for.
When he walked out there and they saw him, the pop was so loud it made my ears pop. I was like, because that's what got my attention. I heard them squeal and I looked and I was like, oh no, there's Flash. He's got the pig. So,
and they was chanting "Cash it in," but they got, you know what I'm saying? They got Jack out, and you'll sit on the ROKU. They got him out. You know what I'm saying? But
I could tell that. I could tell that Flash was conflicted on whether or not to cash in.
I think he made the right decision by not doing it, though.
He did, but I was so focused on the fact that the crowd knew what that pig was for. That's how they followed stories so closely that they knew.
Right. Awesome. Because think about this: if they didn't follow, and a wrestler just came walking out with a pig pinata, they'd be like, "What? What's going on? He's gonna hit somebody with the?" But no, they knew exactly what that meant, and started chanting "Cash it in."
Yeah, you know what would be great is if Justin Flash is able to work one of the fair shows. If he's able to commandeer an actual pig and bring it to the ring with him one night.
Oh my God, he came riding in on a pig.
Maybe they'll let us paint it pink and put sunglasses on it.
Yeah.
A hula skirt.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd try to ride a pig, Reagan. They don't seem like they would like that too well. He would probably lose an arm.
I do not care, but since you said that, Matt, as God is my witness, if I can remember it, if he comes to the fair, I'm at least getting a picture of him with a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked at how late the show went. I was home by 9:30, and I texted Brian. I was like, "You still at the show?" And it was 10 o'clock. And
the last two matches went 30 minutes apiece from with the entrances and everything. Wow.
So just so all you wrestling fans know, that thing is being produced right now. It's getting ready. It will be up on ROKU. If you had to estimate, Rick Diesel, and take a wild guess, how long do you think it'll be before it gets up there?
Mid July. I mean, and the way we'll do it is there's episodes of Mid-Atlantic that has to go up before. I think 2. Yeah. So what is 2 or 3 more? 2.
I think there's 2. If you put one just on, could you just put one on?
So that was 4:30. So 4:31, 4:32. So it'll be the 3rd week of July, something like that. Yeah, because then it'll be a week after that it'll go up. So you're looking at about 3 weeks.
Cool. But it's being
we got to get through the episodes to tell the stories.
Yep, exactly. So we're going to we're in other words, folks, I can't think of a nicer way to say it. We're putting the shit up in sequence. So it'll make sense. So you can watch it in order. And that's the way it's going up on YouTube as well. The best place to go to see the content first is ROKU. We archive it on YouTube. So if you're wondering why, wait a minute, we just saw 429 go up this afternoon on YouTube because we want you to go to the ROKU channel first. YouTube is different than ROKU in as that you can put as much stuff on there as you want. So that's going to be a place where we archive this show and everything else. But if you want to see it, the fresh, hot off the press shit, you got to go to the ROKU channel, AIWF Network on ROKU. Absolutely free, no paywall. Is that
right?
Correct.
And we try to debut an episode every Saturday morning.
Yep. So there you go. All right. I guess we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us for AIWF Ringside Wrestling. We'll be back next week with more fun and frivolity and any other catchphrases we can think of. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for coming out to Extreme Content. For Rick Diesel, Brian, and Reagan, I am Matt Carter. We'll see you next week, wrestling fans. And until next time, so long for now.